So guys, I have a problem, and it has to do with my free-to-play account only having one team built. That being Jingliu, Blade, Ruanmei, and Huohua. I do have some other supports built, like Tingyu, and I also have Pela built, but the problem is I don't have another DPS on this account, and the next DPS I'm getting for free is going to be a Doctor Ratio. But with the stuff that I actually have on this account, the only way I'll be able to run a Doctor Ratio is if I hyper carry him. So that leads me into the point of today's video, which is going to be, should I pull for Kafka? Is Kafka still worth pulling for? And I'm here to talk to you guys today about, is it really still worth it to pull for Kafka now that we have all these banger units in the game? And if you're getting Doctor Ratio for free, is there really even a point if you're a free-to-play player? So we're going to get into all this today. But guys, like I said in my last video, it's a new week, so we have a new room today, and this one should be pretty easy to get. So leave your guesses to this room down in the comment section down below. After this week, it will get harder. So as you can see, our room looks like this right now. It is mega scuffed, so hopefully, leave something in the comment section down below too. What do you think we could put in this room here to really spruce it up? Should we do a stream of maybe putting stuff in an Amazon cart? Should we yoink Ludwig's content and just do like an Amazon stream or something and buy stuff for the room? I don't know. But who asked about looking at the room anyway? So let's go ahead and talk about, is Kafka still worth pulling for? So I think the simple answer to this question is yes and no. Because on one hand, right, you have this unit that plays so well with other dot units, but you have to build up all the other dot units. These are characters you wouldn't normally just build up to have on your team alone. You normally build them up for Kafka. So it requires a lot more investment as far as building into characters goes, because you need a whole different subset of damage to actually make her pop off like really good. So if you don't have a Sampo, Luca, or a Gwenifin built, then you might just be kind of left in the dirt. Also, she's not going to be worth pulling for if you don't plan on pulling for Black Swan, in my opinion. I think Black Swan is going to super enhance her gameplay. There are some Copian people saying that, oh, Black Swan's not going to work with Kafka. I genuinely don't believe that. I think that Kafka and Black Swan will work great together. Of course, we cannot talk about leaks here, but just from what I've seen, I don't know about any changes or anything from what I've seen, but I think that Kafka and Black Swan are going to work hand in hand together. But like I said, it does require the building of two different units that you really can't slot these units into the other team. Maybe you could slot Luke into another team. Maybe you could slot Gwenifin into another team. Maybe you could swap Sampo into another team, right? But they're not the best in slot 4-star options for most of these teams. That's the main point I'm trying to drive here. She is not going to be worth it if you don't plan on building these characters, if you don't have these characters or don't intend on spending the resources to build these other characters up, because Kafka is a dot-based character, so she doesn't work like a crit-based character does. She doesn't work like a follow-up based character does, because they all rely on a lot of crit rate, crit damage, speed. Not saying that she doesn't rely on that, but she needs a lot of attack percentage, she needs a lot of speed. Those are like the main things she needs, right? A break effect can come in handy too, but if you're not running her side by side with her dot unit, she's not able to reproc those dots off, meaning you have to invest in other dot units to actually make her viable. But with that out of the way, and all the reasons you might not want to summon for Kafka out of the way, or why she might not be worth it for your account, let's go ahead and talk about all of the reasons now of why she might be beneficial for your account, why you should be summoning for Kafka on your account. If you plan on pulling for Black Swan, I think that Kafka is almost a must. I think the two will work in tandem almost perfectly. I think that the synergy they're going to have together is going to be amazing. On top of this, if you've already built characters on your account like Sampo, Luca, Gwenifin, or any of these characters really, I think that she is a good pull as well, because you're able to utilize these characters more efficiently because you're able to put dots on the enemy and then reproc those dots off with Kafka. That's the main thing with Kafka. Kafka enables dot teams. So with having Kafka on the team, she doesn't have to do the most damage, right? And we all know that Kafka doesn't do the most damage. She's not going to be your main DPS. What your main DPS is coming from is the amount of dots you have on the team. How well you have the team built up to put a big amount of dot on the enemy so she can reproc the higher dots. And when Black Swan comes out, that's probably going to be your main dot placer, main dot like enhancer, and then you have Kafka there to reproc those dots and enable the team to work more smoothly. That's my opinion on that. I think Kafka is a must summon if you do plan on playing for Black Swan, like I said before, and if you want a different source of damage, because she does offer a different source of damage other than just running a crit-based team. Not to mention, she works really well with Ruanmei. She works really well with Asta, which is another free-to-play character, right? She works really well with a lot of 4-star characters, which I guess if you're more free-to-play oriented, you might have some of these 4-star characters, and you don't have to run an absolute shit ton of 5-stars in the team, right? Like I said, Ruan May does work great.
You know, whatever, fine. So, you know, powered by being petty, I proceeded to play through the entire game.
I think that's cool.
Japanese.
As long as you're providing a decent amount of dots on the enemy, this is going to be completely fine. And this is, in my opinion, why I think Kafka is still worth pulling for. I think Kafka is a really great unit to have on your account if you're looking for a different source of damage, if you're looking to get out of the hyper carry field, right? Not saying hyper carry is bad, but hyper carry is not the best for every scenario. And if we've seen anything, especially with Pure Fiction, I think that Kafka might come in clutch for a future Pure Fiction, especially because one of the future Pure Fictions will be Dot. And I think Pure Fiction makes you think more outside the box, whereas Memory of Chaos makes you go, yo, highest damage, just full send it, hit it as hard as you can to finish it. Pure Fiction is not like that, because Pure Fiction is a game mode where it makes you take your brain, use it, and go, whoa, these buffs here really help me out if I use this character here. That's why Hurt is so good right now. That's why even Serval is so good right now. And of course, this is going to change up every time we get a different Pure Fiction game mode, so maybe one unit works as Pure Fiction, and maybe a unit doesn't work next Pure Fiction. But I think with the addition of Pure Fiction, it makes you want to have a more well-rounded out account, and I think building up dots is a great way to start well-rounding out your account, even though the banner sucks. I genuinely don't think, if you're a late game player, that the 4 stars on a banner, especially if you have a lot of them close to E6, I really don't think that that should be a deciding factor in your pools. I don't think that the 4 star on this banner really hits, but the 5 star on this banner really does hit, that being Kafka. So, I mean, if you do pull on this banner, of course, you're getting Hook, you're getting Shushong, and you're getting Natasha. 3 characters. I mean, you might use a Hook. You could probably use a Shushong, I'm not gonna lie, but you're really not using most of these characters, so it's really going to be up to you at the end of the day whether you want to summon or whether it's worth it for you. Take a look at your account. What do you have on your account right now? You have a lot of hyper carry on your account right now? Because if you do, it might be a good solution to pull for this character, because I know a lot of people were struggling with Pure Fiction, like I mentioned before, because their accounts were all just full send hyper carry comps and hyper carry characters, single target characters, and even Zila that can clear this Pure Fiction game mode, people still weren't able to clear it. So I think that having a more well-rounded out account now is a lot better than what it was before, right? So that's my opinion on that. Me personally, I'm gonna attempt to pull for Kafka. Don't know if I'll get it. I pulled an E1 Ruan May, and I think my Kafka would go really well with that on the free-to-play account. So I plan on pulling for Kafka and Black Swan on the free-to-play account, and also the main account. I love Black Swan. She's beautiful. Anyways, I'm going to stop coping now. Anyways, guys, see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, your guys' pull go well on Kafka if you pull on for her. I think she is a must-pull if you don't have her already, just because she does enable dots and another type of gameplay. But that's going to be completely up to you. Anyways, guys, checking out now. By the way, subscribe and join the Discord for the 2.0 giveaway or Black Swan giveaway we'll be doing. More information will be out on that closer to Black Swan's announcement / release, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, guys, see you guys later. Bye-bye.